The number one problem men have when they get older is that they tend to become comfortable. It's easier to be comfortable than to keep pushing, and this is why many older men simply live out their lives without a partner, or they end up with someone who settles. But when you keep on chasing your goals, women, and especially younger women, remain far more attracted to you. The second problem is that these men are unsure of what it is that makes women attracted to them. Once she begins to naturally show her hand and reveal some of the signs, men are oblivious and they seem to miss them. However, this video aims to change this and give you the right tools to see when a woman likes you or when she's hitting on you. Why women love older men. A big illusion among some of the older folks is the fact that they're no longer in shape, and this means that women don't desire them anymore. Well, this has some truth to it, and if you happen to let yourself go too much, you might become ugly and disgusting to be around. But for the most part, older men offer more than the physical, which is what women desire. One of the reasons women tend to date older men is the fact that they provide some sense of stability. This means that the man's already secure in his life and he's found himself in a position where he's a genuine model citizen. Women tend to admire this, and it also gives them the ideal situation to raise children, which is naturally something younger women are seeking in a partner. In fact, the ultimate biological goal of men and women is to create an environment where they can comfortably raise a child to bring into this life without any real issues. Secondly, a man who's already established also offers a sense of security. Even though women now believe they're strong and independent, many still aspire to be in a relationship where the man tends to take the lead. Once she trusts him to keep her safe, it naturally creates the ideal environment for the two to have a relationship. The only drawback of older men is the fact that many cannot build sexual tension. While someone can like you for what you have and how you look, the ultimate attraction comes from tension being built, which often needs to be cut for both parties to once again feel more comfortable. We've created a big video about how you should try to build sexual tension, and it's helped many men change how they approach women. Before we dive into this video, we recommend that you also have a look at that video. It's guaranteed to at least improve one or two aspects of how you approach women. With that being said, let's dive into the signs a woman will show when she's interested in an older man. Number 1. She will begin to entice or tease you. One of the first signs you need to understand is basic human nature. In fact, you can probably remember from a young age how you used to tease the girl you liked or how she might have gone about teasing you. This is the one fundamental sign that rarely changes, regardless of how old someone is. One way a younger woman will do this is by trying to tease you about things like your age, or even through sexual body language. The idea is to reach a point of sexual tension, and both men and women know exactly how to do this and why it's important. A younger woman is more likely to do things that might elicit some kind of emotional response, and the more stoic you are, the more she'll push to make you feel like she's teasing you. One thing to keep in mind is that women actually expect you to respond in this kind of way, which means that mutual sexual tension is being built. You need to understand that women will naturally test you as well, and this means that she might even attempt to slowly attack your ego a little bit. It's best to simply roll with these punches, and then you'll notice that you have far more success. Number 2. You become a source of validation. Another important thing you need to understand about the female mind is that they often focus on seeking validation. Women are bad when it comes to validation, and they naturally seek it from external sources. If you don't believe men, simply have a look at the social media profiles of women and you'll see what they post just to get a few likes. However, being the person she likes means that she's developed a deeper respect for you. This deep respect means that she values your opinion, and whatever you say, she believes it. A younger woman who's still finding herself will rely on you when it comes to validation, and this can be by seeking your opinion on everything. From the man's point of view, it's fine to occasionally give her this validation, but if you have confidence and a little bit of charm, you can flip the script, and this means you can also use it as a tool for sexual tension. By now, many of you might be tired of the phrase sexual tension, but when you sit back and think a little, you'll notice just how important it is for relationships. We'd recommend that you give her hints of validation, but keep it to a minimum. You don't want to inflate her ego unnecessarily, as this can turn women into monsters. She also needs to learn to self-validate and build some confidence. Number 3, she complains about guys her own age. One of the biggest fears when dating younger women is often when men realize that there are younger and far more attractive men around. In fact, it's hard for an older man to compete with a young guy who's working hard and building himself. Obviously, this is not a fear that you should show women. But one of the ways she shows that she likes you is often by dispelling this fear as much as she can. Women tend to slander the guys her own age, and she might rant about how immature they are or the fact that they don't know what they're doing in life. This often means that mentally, she's already drawing comparisons between yourself and these men, which tends to naturally allow you to eradicate that small insecurity you could have. Women also tend to value the guy they desire much higher, which is why she might continue to do so. You also need to understand that before a woman has chosen an older man, there is a massive likelihood that she's already dabbled in a few relationships with guys her own age. She might be talking to you from personal experience, and this is why she doesn't like these younger men. However, all this is a clear sign she likes you. Number 4, she wants to spend a lot of time with you. Now, this one doesn't apply only to older men, but women naturally feel drawn to the men they like, and they always want to spend as much time with them as they possibly can. However, to understand this better, you need to look at the flip side. You see, whenever you're the one reaching for a woman who's not as attracted to you, you are the one who's constantly trying to spend some time with her. In fact, you're more likely to want to spend a lot of time with this person because they become some kind of happy place. For women, this is also true. And regardless of age, you'll notice that she simply wants to be around you and spend time together. In fact, a woman might even go as far as being the one who plans all the dates and tries to get you to see her. When a woman becomes more responsive, there's a reason. And the reason is that you are naturally occupying her mind more than usual. The more room you take up in her mind, the more she'll want to be with you. This can be best explained as some kind of mental tension that leads to an obsession. It can often even resemble an addiction. Adding to this is the fact that she'll be far more responsive via text messages, and she's more likely to answer all your calls. Since this isn't something that happens with every woman, and everyone has realized just how busy life is, it's a very important sign. Number 5, she stands up for you among her peers. One of the biggest drawbacks for women when dating older men is the fact that those around them might object. In fact, it's much easier for them to criticize, especially when they are also some of the younger people around. One of the biggest insults many women might face has to do with the fact that the guy might be old enough to be a sugar daddy. Aside from this, numerous more jokes can be made when it comes to older men, and this seems to be a big problem for many women. However, if she truly likes you, you'll notice that she starts defending your age. In fact, she might even go as far as insulting others just to show that she's defending you. A woman who can defend you in person or behind your back is someone who truly values you. It's also one of the most powerful signs of loyalty from a woman. In many situations, she might even need to defend you against her own parents or family. Once this happens, you should not become insecure, since this is when she needs your support, and it also shows that she's interested. Number 6, she shows her weaknesses. One thing you need to understand about life, but you probably know, is that the world doesn't have time for weakness. In fact, weakness is something people prey on, and if you're unable to directly take a stand and work hard, you're more than likely to make a few errors, and this will make her see you differently, in a bad way. Women also understand the risk they take when they show weakness. It's for this reason that mental problems have also spun out of control, and absolutely no one is willing to give people the freedom or even a safe space when it comes to revealing some of their emotions. However, women tend to break down much sooner than men, and many will reveal their emotions or weakness far sooner than men would. If she happens to reveal her own issues and insecurities, it's one of the best signs that she trusts you. If there's one thing that's important when it comes to dating, it's trust. You see, the world is full of people who cannot be trusted, which has led to people not talking. If she happens to open up to you, you should remain in a masculine frame, but also provide her with a sense of comfort. This is where the providing security comes in. We don't recommend you show your weakness too soon in the interaction, as this could significantly backfire. You need to understand that women might show they can solve all your problems, but they tend to run away when things become overwhelming. As a man, you must have a couple male friends that you can naturally rely on when it comes to revealing your own insecurities. Number 7. You are often pleasantly surprised. Relationships are not just about deep connections, and much like sexual tension is one of the pillars that keeps a relationship healthy, a little bit of unpredictability is another way in which this can happen. You see, men are historically the parties that should surprise women, and they also need to make sure that she doesn't become bored. However, younger women have some common sense, which means they'll naturally understand how hard you're working and what you're doing to provide everything. If she likes you, she's more likely to sprinkle in a couple surprises. This can be her giving you gifts or doing things for you. But if you really want to know if she likes you, you can see it in her natural body language. Women will have far better body language, which is often accompanied by red clothing or red lipstick. You see, the color red has always been associated with love and seduction, and women are naturally drawn to this color, whilst they also know men are drawn to it. If she's always wearing red, it could be a sign that she likes you. Number 8. She constantly mentions immaturity. When a woman is constantly talking about immature men, there could be a couple psychological things going on inside her mind. One of these things is the fact that she wants you to know that she's happy with you and actually despises all the other immature guys. This is mostly the case when she talks about this, and it's something that means she's definitely valuing you over many of the other men. However, when someone has some kind of obsession about something, it also means that it lives rent-free in their minds. If she constantly babbles about immature men, you also need to understand that she might have been hurt by someone. This could leave you in a very tricky situation. Now, you need to choose if you're willing to work through this trauma with her. We cannot tell you what to do in this situation, as there are many cases of men being patient with women going through trauma. Eventually, they manage to overcome this trauma, and it allows them to heal. Many marriages and relationships have flourished through this, but it could also mean that she's now dating you, which is the opposite of the type she finds attractive. Number 9. She pushes to take the relationship to the next level. Finally, every relationship eventually reaches a point where two people will sleep together. In fact, women like you are more than likely to push for this, where she's constantly telling you that she wants to sleep with you. We have already mentioned how and why she might want to seduce you, but many of these seduction techniques are often just tests, and she'll naturally want to tease you. However, if she's willing to do the act, it's one of the most powerful signs of attraction. You also need to understand just how much value women actually place on some of these intimate encounters, and would recommend that you take such actions as being something that shows how much she naturally likes you. Younger women and older men are not uncommon, and it's been a natural thing for many centuries. In fact, this kind of dating happens in various cultures, and it's come from as far back as the first human beings. However, understanding the attraction element is what will help you have a sustainable relationship.